Tell me what got gun on that dirt. Yeah.
Yo, if I were podcasting, it would be insane. Knowledge flowing like the sweetest rain. Professor Bear on the mic, spreading wisdom wide. A bear's thoughts, that's my pride, I can't hide.
With the voices in your ear, changing the game.
If I rule podcasting, every thought we'd ignite. In a world of chatter, we'll spark in the fight. With Professor Bear, we're climbing to new heights. A bear's thoughts for task, shining bright in the night. Topics from the heart, never sounding the same. God laughs and debates, never dull or bland. From culture to tech, take you by the hand. Join the ride with us, feel the vibe expand. With every episode, we shine that beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul.
So two men don't meet what we got to share. If I rule podcasting, I spread the love everywhere.
Welcome, and thank you for joining me today. I am Professor Bear, and this is A Bear's Thoughts. And with 2026 already going so well, it's just been a blessing to get to talk to so many different podcasters and to celebrate what they bring to the wrestling game, because it is a lot. And you know, when you have those opportunities to catch up with a family member and y'all don't talk as often as you used to, and there's nothing wrong with just life. So I'm sitting there doing my thing, and I thought to myself, man, I ain't talked to my man in a minute. Man, how can I have a podcast appreciation without having him on? So, of course, I reach out, and immediately he responds like, all right, we can do this. This is my friend, my brother, Uncle Blacc. Unc, how you, my friend?
Oh, blessed. What an intro. Oh, my heartstrings. Now, I see the fire was toasty, but I see the intro's a toastier, man. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for having me. But what's understood doesn't need to be said. All you got to do is just say the word, and poof, I'm here.
Amen to that. Oh man. So before we get into the deep discussions, I have to I laugh every time I'm coming on, and people are like, man, that's on fire. That's fire. It was a last minute thought. I caught myself listening to Curtis Blow, If I Ruled the World. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, man, I think that'd be fire if I put If I Ruled Podcasting. And bam.
That was great. I wanted to say, you probably saw me vibing.
Yeah.
I was waiting for we was waiting for the light to come on, but you know, you got a little vibe ski going over here. I like it. I like it a lot.
I'm sitting there really, really debating if that's going to stay the theme when I go back to normal stuff. I don't know yet. It's a big decision.
I like it. Well, listen, let's just see how it fares up against other songs. But I don't know. Looks like general consensus will probably say keep it.
I I agree. I agree. So, first question I always ask all of my guests:
All right.
how did you become a wrestling fan?
Oh man, all right. That old chestnut. I feel like ever since I was a wee little lad, it was always around, and it was always just a matter of time before I got into it. So I definitely had to say my pop, my dad for sure, because he was the biggest fan of it, and I would always just be enthralled with just watching him and seeing how it just had him locked into the television. And I'm like, what is he watching? I want in on that. So I definitely say just through family. I say it was hereditary. Can I say that? I'll probably just say that and leave it there. But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely through family. That's how I got caught up. And then ever since then, once you get into it, it's like the mob. It's hard to get out. And
Yes, sir.
I've been
Yes,
locked in
sir.
ever since.
And then it seems like even if you step out for a minute, it always brings you back. It brings you back.
Absolutely. Just drags you back in.
Oh yeah. So the next question is, how did you transform from just being a wrestling fan to doing podcasting?
Ooh, so the jump from seer to doer, as they say. I feel like it was just. I felt like it was everybody has their own little tale and path to how they got here. And I feel like mine's, I was just at a crossroad at work one day because I would watch it. I would watch the content normally, just taking all the wrestling, and I would have these conversations with my coworkers. I'm just like, yo, this would be crazy if this happened. That'd be crazy if that happened. And then one day in this conversation, we were all together, and it was like, yo, maybe we should do something. We should try something and see what happens. And I'll never forget the day. It was a cold winter's evening, and thus 2.5 Heels was born. I feel like it was just out of just sheer will to just keep talking about it and keeping the conversation alive when it comes to this thing called pro wrestling.
So with that being said, have you now I know personally I had to do it for transferring my audios to their own streaming service, but I hadn't really dove into it. I just can't do it. Have you went back to listen to your first podcast?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I do it often as a reminder to let me know that, hey, brother, you've came a long way. Look at where you started. I also go back and listen to them from time to time because like it'll be days where I just don't have it, and I'm just like I don't want to do anything, or I'm just tired, or this be my only day off, and I got to work 6 straight next week or whatever the case may be. And I'll just pop that one on because at that point, at the first episode of 2.5 Heels, it was just an audio episode. I had just pressed record on my phone while the phone was sitting on the table. So that should tell
Mm.
you right there where if you look at the most recent episode, that'll tell you we didn't came away. So you just got to do it. But yes, to answer your question, yes, I have listened to the first episode of the podcast.
I have this thing where I cannot listen to my voice back. It just bugs me to death. I cannot stand the sound of my own voice. So if I have to go back and watch anything with me in it, I try to blank me out. I'm listening to everybody else, but then I hear me. I can't do it. So it's one of those hard things. But like you said, we have grown so much that sometimes I listen like, man, I can't believe this person that I am today was that person back then. Jesus. But
Absolutely.
you know how it goes. If you keep doing something and getting that rep, you get those reps in, you get better.
Absolutely. That's what everything in life, not just podcasting. Even though right now we celebrating the wrestling podcaster, that applies to everything in life. Okay. Someone gave me some good advice one time where all you got to do is just do 100 of something. And then from there you'll become a pro at it. So just take that from right now. Just do 100 of something and then just keep on going from there, because you can't stop from there.
You are so right about that. And it's amazing that I gave this advice to my kids is never be afraid to try, because you're going to fall. You're not going to do everything 100% every time you do it. So you fall, you wipe yourself off, get up and do it again. And I tell them specifically, do not be like dad. Dad was scared and wouldn't take that step for failure or looking bad. Or I like bump all that. I'm always going to be your dad. If you try, I'm going to be here to pick you up. I hope if I'm gone, my spirit will tell you, get your ass up, let's move it. So that is a life lesson for all of us. So, what is Uncle Blacc's thought on WWE currently?
If we're talking about the current product as it stands now, I would reserve all of my comments until we find out where Obafemi is going as far as this main roster shakeup. But I mean, if you look at the vision, they got Braun Breaker looking like a certified maniac after what happened with him and Postman Pierce on Raw. So I mean, hopefully it's nothing but good things for the vision. And you know, as we move towards Rumble season, you know, a lot of discussions are being held on what direction we may go in for WrestleMania. And you know, we could get some surprises this year as well. So I mean, overall, a lot of people give a lot of criticism to Mr. Levesque in the booking and how, you know, he wields the pen over there. But this is the time of year where it starts to get good. So everybody just relax, calm down, and let's just get ready to get through the Saudi Rumble.
Oh yeah, that would be interesting in itself. I think that Oba is raw bound. I don't see why they would put him on SmackDown when they've got Trick. I told somebody this. I said, if you want to make a star, I had to steal the JBL line. If you want to make a star, Trick Williams is that guy. He took everything that he learned in NXT and TNA and is the modern day Rock. If he does not get a big push this year to establish that, I will be super surprised.
Hey, as far as Trick Willie is concerned, I agree with the statements that you've said, because he has had quite possibly the best run as far as how do I learn how to do this for real. And I mean, jumping from show to show, brand to brand, I mean, holding the TNA World Championship, the Trick-N-A Championship, as he referred to it, is, I mean, it's the ultimate lesson, ultimate teaching tool. And now you take all of that experience, all of that know-how, roll it up into a ball, and then poof, he shows up on Friday Night SmackDown, interrupting Sami Zayn, looking like a star,
Mm.
You know, looking like a white owl, just out here with the all whites. So I definitely see big things for Trick Willie in 2026. I mean, we got the tournament coming up this upcoming week on SmackDown. So hopefully, we get to see something going on, but hopefully we get a big showing from him in the Rumble, as I said earlier.
Yeah, I hope so too. So, what makes your podcast different from others?
Oh, that's easy, man. Me, ME. Other podcasts don't got me on it. They don't have I guess I would say the je ne sais quoi. And plus, like if you want to get results and you want to get the stuff that happened, like go to What Culture. It's a bunch of other places where you can go and get, all the main meat and potatoes. But there's only one place that you can go to and get the tomfoolery and chicanery and just all around a good vibe around here when it's time to talk about this professional wrestling, because this is the fun part. This is where we just chill and just recap it and give our opinions. I mean, listen, last week on the show, I referred to Becky Lynch and Maxine Dupree as a bologna sandwich and a spicy, crispy chicken sandwich from fucking Chick-fil-A. So that could just tell you right there where the show is at and how the show is going. I mean, we just chilling out and just vibing over there. So the difference in the show is definitely just me, myself, my other co-host, Bree and Ali. We just back to doing what we was doing before, just vibing, enjoying the landscape of wrestling, and just talking about it like the way we know how to.
If you were to give anyone any advice about starting a podcast, what would that be?
Oh, for sure. Probably the first thing I would tell you is just start. Like I like just start start it. I don't give a fuck what it is, whether you're just thinking of a name, thinking of a concept, just putting anything, any pen to paper, or just any ideas on the canvas. Just start it, because once you start it, you won't be able to stop. And another thing too, I ain't gonna gatekeep either. Use Riverside.fm. Okay, it's a podcasting platform that I'll tell you now. From when I started to where I am now, I've grown with the platform. And when I tell you it is morphed from just a small podcasting servicing platform to its own hosting service. Like when I tell you this thing has blown up, if I want to give anybody a chance to, get into a game where essentially you see it's oversaturated because everybody's here and everybody's chatting up at the same time. If you want to give yourself just a little bit of a chance, with a little bit of creativity, Riverside FM could definitely be your friend. And it's not a paid ad neither. They didn't pay me to say that. It's just advice to someone that's looking to do it. So
Right.
I'll definitely just say just do it. Just start. Use Riverside FM. And also too, work on your own time. Because I know in the game, you got to be the first one with the headline. You got to be the first one to post something. If you didn't post it first, then it's not official. Eventually that shit is going to creep up on you. And unless you got a team that can assist you and keep you going the way you need to go, it's going to take a toll on you. I can tell you it has. So just take your time, okay? Unless you set a schedule and you're going to stick to that fucking schedule, take your time. That's all the advice. I don't want to turn into a grandpa out here. Just back in my day, we set timers.
Another thing that I think a lot of people need to hear, because like you said, we end up if you do it a lot, you're going to burn yourself out. It's just what it is. Don't be afraid to take necessary breaks. You know your body. you know how you're feeling. If you feel just drained and you're not getting your full self, then take a break. It man, people understand that. And just as simple as, hey guys, I'm gonna take a quick uh mental break, or hey, this season 1 is done. We're gonna step aside when we come back and be season 2. But whatever you need, however you want to say it, do not be afraid to take a break. I've seen so many people so afraid because they're afraid if I stop, somebody's gonna be there to take my spot, my audience. If they rock with you, they rock with you.
He
And
ain't lying. He ain't lying at all, y'all. He ain't lying.
it's a so before I get into my little story, have you had the pleasure of being recognized somewhere as, oh man, that's Uncle Blacc? Let me
Yeah,
holler at him.
that has happened one time since in the entire going on maybe 2 years that we've been doing this. One time it has happened, and they randomly saw me on a YouTube Shorts in the algorithm. I was talking about Brock Lesnar or something, and they spotted me at work. So it was kind of hard for me to, maintain my coof and composure when it's just like, they looks like somebody else knows what I've been doing with my spare time. So,
Right.
but yeah, it has happened, and I try my best to just not let that get to my head because I still actually have to go to fucking work. Oh shit, excuse me, sorry. Can I curse in the woods?
Yes, we about that life in the woods.
All right, cool. Because you got to be careful.
Oh
Got to be
yeah,
careful
got to be.
because we live. We don't want to. Upset our good people. But yeah, it was definitely dope. Definitely a fun moment.
Um, I had that moment, and for me it was like I'm standing there. It like everything slowed down, and I'm like, they actually recognize me, and I'm like, you must not have too big of a life if you recognize me. And talking to them, they were like, man, we love it. We love what you do. And I it's one of those things I think of. I'm just a normal person. I appreciate the love and support people show me, but it still is mind blowing. If if you had your choice and they said God comes down, sits beside you and say, oh, I'm gonna let you choose who you interview, dead or alive, who would that person be and why?
It'd be God, because I'd be like, brother, everything you've done up until now, can't explain. All right, I'm just joking. Just joking here. But if I could enter, are we talking just any wrestling-esque personality, any
Yes,
wrestler or whoever?
yes. Anyway,
Anybody, dead or alive. That's very, very because again, you got a lot of good folks who then came and went.
yeah,
A lot of people who I would love to sit down and really pick their brains. I feel like my obvious go-to answer would probably be Eddie Guerrero, just due to the in-ring acumen and the IQ, the general-esque status of him as a wrestler. I definitely want to interview him and Owen. 0-2, just because
Ooh.
of how good he is and how much he is forgotten, even with the jokes and the ribs. And jokingly, I probably want to interview Hulk Hogan just so we could boo him again. Just so we could boo this man one more time. That's all. But yeah, I mean, we could do all day, living, dead, everybody. We could be here all night talking about that. A lot of good people, but I feel like mainly probably just Owen and Eddie.
You know, and it's amazing that Owen never crossed my mind. I feel ashamed actually
No,
because, like you said, there are so many different wrestlers that have passed that I would love to know what they think and how they feel the modern day wrestling is going, and just so many different questions. Like, one person I definitely would love to sit down and have a conversation with is Bruiser Brody.
mm,
Just to,
yes,
just to pick his psychology apart, because people did not realize on how really he was intelligent. His intelligence was off the charts. To get down to the simple form of, I'm just gonna beat your ass down. That's it. I'm gonna mug you.
Mhm.
And another question I would ask him: what was he thinking when he punked out Lex Luger?
Probably wasn't thinking nothing. Who the fuck is this young buck?
you you can say whatever you want about Lex. Lex was smart enough to get the hell on.
Yeah, we don't need these problems.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. Oh, so what is your thoughts on AEW?
I mean, the greatest thing they could have done, at least in the immediate, was put the world title back on Max. MJF as world champion is just overall better for the company as a whole, because him being the world champion is somebody that you love to hate. It's someone that's really good at what he does as well. And no matter what, whoever is on the chase, you still got so much star power in that title, that world championship scene. So just that alone right there was keeping my interest in AEW. And you go down to the tag scene. You got the FTR still being the greatest tag team of the modern era, especially with Brockley Hathaway, aka I can't fall through the table, right? Stokely. So
Oh,
great tag team. Brodito, great tag team. Jet Speed, great tag team. Like AEW is slowly found their identity, and there's like they're walking in it, because I've been a fan since the beginning in 2019, where it was just a car crash every week and we just got to make it to the next town.
right.
Because with the bringing in the women's tag titles, bringing in Mercedes, I'm gonna win all the belts, Monet, Tony Storm. Like AEW was definitely maintained its cool, and moving forward, even with the loss of a lot of big names, they still managed to maintain the allure and the mainstream attention. So I love AEW, man. I could sit here and yap about it forever.
So, with that being said, what is Aunt's thoughts on the independent scene?
I mean, there's enough money around for everybody to eat. I mean, if you find yourself working into the WWE feeder system, then you got a lot of you got a lot of places that you got to get through to get to where you need to go. So there's more money to be made all over the world, no matter where you are in this country. So just a matter of locking in with a good school and just again getting them reps in. The indie scene is definitely it definitely lit, but WWE is kind of vacuum situation the whole world, because the hottest talent at one time, they will find themselves in that WWE umbrella. So it's just a matter of just navigating the whole thing and just going where you need to go. But it's a lot of good companies out here to work for, not just the Fed. So it's a lot of opportunities for wrestlers to eat. So I just hope that they're, learning from whoever they can learn from, and just taking everything as a lesson and just moving on. At least that, from my eyes, that's what the independent scene is looking like right now. Because I mean, look, carrying crosses out here, Matt Cardona just got up out of there, but it's not like it's losing. It's tickets being sold every night.
And like you said, man, it's enough money where everybody can eat. I mean, there's so many different great promotions out there that are doing some colorful work. And I think, like, with I always put it this way. If you understand that you're a business among yourself, you could do some fabulous work, but it's a business. You have to make sure you're doing the promos, the in-ring work, the selling, the having your personality together. Like, one person right now that I love to death is Shotzi Blackheart. She has been turning it up. She's like, okay, I got fired, so what? I can do it. There's other things besides the WWE. I'm out here and I'm going to make them regret they got rid of me. I'm going to show them that they're going to have to rehire me. And when they do, they're going to have to come out their pockets for me. So I just love that work rate that the indies are up and doing now. It's everywhere. It's not just the United States. I mean, in Canada, Mexico, over in Africa, UK. It's just so many great indie promotions out there. You can do so much to get the old school of training yourself to be ready for the big leagues. Mm-hmm. I really like where everything is.
Absolutely, man. The state of wrestling is good, and everybody eats.
So I had not asked anybody else this question, but it just came to mind.
Oh, shucks. Let's go.
And I think it's a good question. What do you think about the ESPN deal with WWE?
Oh, this is shit. I'm gonna be honest here. Let's shoot from the hip here. Sorry, sponsors and censors. I think that deal was horse shit, because I didn't need to spend any more money to be able to like. Why did y'all get rid of the WWE network? Okay, that $9.99 was the best money I ever spent in my whole life, to have everything at my fingertips. Why did y'all get rid of Peacock? Peacock was even good for what it was. Y'all managed to keep everything organized. But now, as far as the PLEs being on ESPN, it was, again, just, it was horse shit. Possibly, business. It was a money deal. And who am I to, speak against the money? Because I will never disrespect Shane McMahon. But in regards to this per se, I think it's stupid. I'm tired of spending money to watch all my wrestling in different places instead of everything just being in one spot. But it's not even just for wrestling, it's with everything, football, basketball, whatever. It's just the content is going to the highest bidder. And, I still do it. I still did it. But, it's shit.
Yeah, if you're outside the United States, you're living lovely because
Oh
they
yeah.
they put everything together. But here in the States, they're like, boy, we about to drain y'all asses dry. And I have a lot of um opinions about WWE. Some good, some bad, but that's just what happens in the wrestling business. Now, with that being said, TKO can go to hell.
Mm-hmm.
They and I feel like they are going to sell the WWE before, I will at least say by 2027 it's going to be sold, and I'm afraid it's going to be sold to the Saudis.
Mm.
That's my one of my biggest fears, that that's going to happen.
I didn't have that on my bingo card. I never thought I'd say this, but you know what? Even though all the charges have been dropped and everything was good, let's get Vin Man back in here. Let's get Freaky Man Vince to buy the shit and just take back over. Because at this point, I would rather take Vince McMahon style booking just because I said so booking. I would rather take that than whatever would happen if WWE was sold to the highest bidder. So if that don't tell you right there where how I feel about the situation here, just don't sell and make the tickets affordable, man. There's no way that WWE on an overseas tour, you gotta cover off a whole section of seats. It's supposed to be an overseas tour. Everybody supposed to be wanting to go see it.
Yeah,
Lower the ticket prices, man.
that, they don't care. That it's one of those things for me. Or like you said, everything Vince has done, been accused of, whatever. The one thing you can never say is Vince did not care about the wrestling fans. And with WWE doing this, Tony Khan got the biggest smile on his face because okay, leave that. We'll pick it up, no problem. We'll be glad to take it. Because next year, when WrestleMania is over there, I almost want to guarantee you Tony is going to come up with some show, and it's gonna do stupid numbers, and people are gonna like, what? This the same AEW y'all talked about. This the same Tony Khan y'all talked about, and y'all all up in the show now.
Listen, I feel like with time will tell you everything you need to know. And again, when AEW started, WWE already had a 50-year head start as far as what's going on with what they're doing now. So it's just a matter of just keeping your head down and realizing that this is a marathon and not a race. So, but with everything that's being done now, the only thing they haven't done was create their own performance center to train talent. That's the only thing they haven't done yet. But outside of that, AEW seems like it's going to be here for a while, and I hope so because Lord knows we need it.
Oh yeah, you need competition. And another thing, I think I only asked one other podcaster this. What is your feeling about WWE buying up other promotions?
Listen, if I mean, in my adulthood, I say money talks, bullshit runs a marathon. And right now, they not running nowhere because the money is long. So at the end of the day, with them buying AAA, right?
Right.
Personally, I never looked at the AAA product until the WWE bought it. Like I would see it for like, if there was a big, interpromotional match or something like that, I would look at it then, but it's not like it didn't have that WWE sauce now that it has now. So I say it's done great wonders as far as exposure, because with WWE being the leading brand in sports entertainment, it's nice to be under that umbrella to get that same type of polish. Because if you look at the recent AAA shows with that WWE polish on it, the presentation has been swimmingly. So personally, if all parties involved agree, and it's all signed and sealed, then I say if it's better for the people involved, maybe not better for everybody, but for those involved in it, I say good for them. If you can sign, solid. But in the grand scheme of things, maybe it makes it tougher for everybody else to get over, because it's like, oh well, we got to do this WWE style. But then again, I don't know, because I remember when the show first started, I heard Hunter say something about, hey, we're just here to magnify what you're already doing. We're not here to change what you're doing. I don't know. I'm not in there. I'm not in the room with them. So I don't know what's going on.
Right.
But I say it can be good and it could be bad. It could be good for the growth of the already established product. And you just take the good with the bad with everything else.
That's very true. The only real issue that I have, and I knew, anytime you pick up another brand and you do not make them an equal entity, it's going to be hard on them. And the reason I say that, you're 100% right. They have gotten more views since WWE has bought them. But then you have, and I hate using this word, but I think it's appropriate. You have the lower tier wrestlers like Umberto and his partner. Great wrestlers. They are tremendous, but they can't get a win in WWE to save their lives. Then you let them go down to AAA and win that tag title. And for me, being the old wrestling fan, immediately I thought, you just buried AAA, because you're saying their best can't even beat our mid artists. Now, a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, a few people have told me, well, you're looking at it the wrong way. They are getting people that are established or WWE stars, and they're integrating them into the product to make the viewership look good. I get that, but me as a fan, and as long as I've watched WWE, if these two guys hadn't won on TV in, let's say 3 years, then why in the world would I think AAA talent is good when they can't beat the team they ain't won in 3 years? But again, that's just my mind state of it. My second issue, you always let WWE talent win their titles. That they did it with TNA. And I have no problem that a WWE star won another promotion's title. But it should be reversed also. Let TNA, what has a TNA star won a WWE title? It's one of those little things for me. But being a podcaster, being someone who's very detailed in watching things, those are type of questions that come up for me.
And justify, rightfully so, because again, it has to make sense. The books have to be balanced, because we don't want to come out in this situation looking like scrubs because we just let you take our belts and just go gallivanting and doing what you want with them. Well, but also at the same time, if you flip it on the other side of the coin here, until TNA signed this deal with AMC, if we're using TNA as part of the discussion here, you know, I don't remember what channel they was on before.
Hell,
I
they
think it
don't
was
even
I think it
remember
was
what channel
Access
they
or
were
something
on.
like that. So for them, again, this is attention that is normally just reserved for WWE's own in-house people. So again, it's just like, hey, listen, we got this platform and we're giving you airtime on our network, on our shows to get your shit in. But that comes at a cost. Nothing in life is free. And in order for this to happen, for your main event guys to even just be mentioned in the same breath on our TV, something like this will have to happen. And I'm sure there's trade-offs. We've seen it. We've seen some belts go back and forth. We've seen some things, shake and move. But it's all in business, man. Because regardless of the partnership, plans still have to, still be plans.
Very true. And my last gripe is WWE taking TNA's best talent and getting them signed to their brand is like wild. Again, I understand you want the best, and I would say hell, 75, maybe 80% of wrestlers who are in the business want to be at WWE. That's just a stone cold fact.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Yes.
I feel like that's everybody's dream because we all grew up watching it, wanting to be there and wanting to, do what they do. And that's everybody. I don't care where you are in the arena, in the sphere, in the building. Everybody wants that. So I completely get that. But also, money talks, bullshit runs a marathon. Okay. These guys got a lot of money to give people. And then now with the schedule, that the reduced schedule is being worked now, because that's being a lot of people's reasons. Hey, listen, if TNA had the money to keep a lot of these stars here in TNA, then I know they would have signed them. But instead, they signed BDE. So shout out to BDE. But like Booker T said, that boy Joe Hendry gonna be printing money in WWE real soon. Just wait.
Yeah, he really is. I myself, I knew about Joe Hendry quite before the big boom hit with him. Mm-hmm. And no disrespect to him, he does an amazing job, but I'm tired of him. And again, no disrespect to him, he does fabulous work. He does what he do, but I'm just, if I said his name, he popped up beside me, I may try to put him in a chokehold. I don't know.
I would pop. If I said his name and he was right here, I'd be like, hey. I'd be excited. But I can understand it, though. The novelty tends to wear off with certain people. But I feel like the only thing that matters is the people with the pen. If they love it, then fuck it. Everybody else will love it. Because I promise you, when that song comes on, everybody gets happy.
Yes, they do. And boy, do he still commands a mighty pop. Mighty.
Absolutely.
And I'm just waiting till he's full-time on the main roster to see what they do with him.
Yeah, it won't be long. I say give him this year in NXT if they don't put the NXT championship on him now. But I'd say give him a year. He'll be called up this time next year.
Yeah. And speaking of being called up, I've seen a lot of complaints, which is wild to me, about Jordan Grace. people were legitimately pissed that she never won the NXT title. And I started laughing personally because just because you don't get a title in NXT do not mean you would not blow up on the main roster and come the it person. I look at Bianca Belair. She never won a title in NXT, but look at what she is now. Sami Zayn had the NXT title for a hot second.
Mm-hmm.
And look where he is. You don't necessarily have to be a champion in NXT to become a megastar in the WWE.
Absolutely. And I feel like her body of work speaks for itself to where, like, if you didn't see Jordan Grace before her run in TNA, then that is on you to do the research. But you know who did do the research? The WWE. That's why her ass went straight through NXT, had a couple good matches with some good wrestlers, and for shame for how the announcement was, how she was debuted. It was just pan camera to the right, you walk in smiling, hey everybody, I'm here now. So that that thumbs down, boo, tomatoes for that. But when she gets in the ring, I mean, she can go unlike no other. So, I feel like just the ROI with Jordan Grace in the long run, we'll be able to get past the debauchery of the debut. But we look back, 2-3 years from now when she's main eventing WrestleMania, everybody will nod and just be like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I want to end this interview with the main purpose of why I am doing this. I said it earlier in the beginning, but there are so many different podcasters that do fantastic work that keeps wrestling fans happy and go beyond their means to make sure they're doing a fantastic job. I feel like a lot of people do not get to hear how thankful people are for what they do. They don't get their flowers. I'm a big believer in people need to get their flowers while they're here, can smell them and enjoy them. Because we forget how fast life it can be. And I took it upon myself to give a month for all the different podcasters, even the ones that are not coming on my show. I still see you and still want to give appreciation to you. But with you being my brother and being on my show, I want to thank you for everything you've been doing, everything that you continue to do. And I know that you are on the path that will only stop when you say it needs to stop. So thank you so much for being you and continuing having the energy to be one of my favorite podcasters. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. You're one of my favorite. I love hearing your take on things. You're funny, you're insightful, and You're knowledgeable. Most people may have one. A rare amount has two. There are not a lot that has all three. And I want to celebrate you for that.
Damn, man. Thank you. I'm borderline retirement John Cena. Just I can't take it. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Listen, everybody got their own walk of life. Everybody got their own, you know what I'm saying, situation to get them to where they at now. As long as you keep in your heart that this shit is supposed to be fun, because that's the whole reason why we got into this shit in the first place, is that we love talking about it and we love having fun doing it. As long as you don't forget to have fun, you're gonna be all right. You know, your path may seem longer because you're not where you see everybody else at, but you know, the journey is the story. So just enjoy it. All right, you only get one.
Amen. Amen. And everybody is not meant to go down the same road. That's what makes us who we are. So, man, again, thank you so much for coming on and chopping it up with me. And I'm so looking forward to what this year brings. I know we are going to have some tremendous stuff coming up, and
hell yeah,
it's going to be our year. I feel it in my heart. We're going to do some major things.
Absolutely. Love to everybody in the family. Love to everybody. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all, man.
Guys, girls, thank you so much for joining us around the campfire and just listening to a great story and understanding that podcasters have some tremendous stories that a lot of times you won't get to hear because a lot of us are modest and don't want to make everything about us. But I felt like we needed to hear these stories and celebrate each and every one of these guys and girls who have blessed me to come on the show so I could tell them thank you, not only for me, but for you all, the fans too. So with that being said, we will see y'all around the campfire again. We appreciate you. We love you. And last but definitely not least, go support your local indie promotion. They are amazing. I'm not going to sit here and try to say they're better than WWE. I'm not going to sit here and say they're worse than WWE. What I will say is you will get an experience that I believe will last you a lifetime and give you a whole different appreciation for the wrestling business. So please support your local professional wrestling organization. With that being said, I am Professor Blacc.
I mean, I like that. I like it. It sounds Professor Blacc. That's got quite a ring to it. Maybe when I graduate, I'll be Professor Blacc.
Hell, that just sounds like another show to me.
Professor Blacc.
I'm just saying. I am Professor Bear. This is a Bear's Thought. Thank you, and y'all have a great evening.